Hi, my name is Robin Love, and I'm the founder of the Hatha Yoga School. We've created a new course called Putting It All in Context. Putting It All in Context is 20 hours of self-paced material, meaning you gain access to the whole course and you can move through at your own pace. And you have it for a lifetime. Putting it all in context is, as the title suggests, giving you context for why we do what we do in yoga. This context includes the historical context, but also there are 4 sessions on yogic anatomies. How does yoga understand the human system? And with this understanding, it gives some context for what happens in our yoga practice. So there are 4 sessions on that, and then there are 5 sessions on Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. One is an overview. So once we understand that this text fits into its own context and follows certain conventions, then we have greater access to what's actually being offered in the text. And then there are 4 sessions, one on each chapter, give or take, and so that we really dig into some of the main concepts offered in the Yoga Sutra, which are so essential to understanding what is yoga. My hope is that through this course, you are enlivened and excited about yoga and its potential to be more than a fitness routine, and really honoring its roots in India and understanding that when we take the time to study, and by we, I mean people who were not raised in India in the context of that cultural context, that it really is our part of our role as a student of yoga to understand the historical and cultural context of yoga, to learn about it, and to take some care that we are practicing in a way that is honoring the context of yoga. So my own background is I have trained primarily in what often gets called the Vinaya yoga tradition, which is to say a tradition taught by Sri Krishnamacharya and then his son TKV Desikachar, associated with the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, all in Chennai in South India. So my own training includes spending a little time at KYM, as well as studying with numerous teachers from that tradition, including my main mentor, Chase Bossart, the founder of Yoga Well Institute. I've also studied with Dolphy Wertenbaker, Anita Claney, Gutta Hedwig. I've studied chanting with Bhuma Mandavan, and Ayurveda with Elizabeth Cunningham Bossart. So really most of my training is in this tradition, and so what I'm offering obviously reflects that. Knowing that yoga is a big tent and there are as many opinions about things as there are practitioners, but what I feel has integrity in putting it all in context is that we're really looking at the source materials as much as possible. So what's presented is not so much actually my opinion, but really trying to offer you the texts and the frameworks such as they have been handed down so that you can find your own way in and discover how things are working and why they are presented in this way. A lot of yoga that we have access to these days is very oriented towards the physical practices. And so putting it all in context is an invitation to move deeper into some of the other tools of yoga, but with this idea that you will learn about some of the whys behind them. So you get to know why do we do this? What's the benefit? Or even what are some of the precautions? Because, it's easy to, especially in the Vini yoga tradition, to see a lot of this in a very therapeutic light. But historically, traditionally, these practices are here for us in service of liberating us from suffering. And that's a powerful thing to take up. So what does that even mean within the context of yoga? This is what putting it all in context is about, is at least offering an entry point so that you will leave. My wish is that you leave with more questions than you came in that sort of best way possible. You're curious and have been maybe even a little provoked, and you want to know more. If that's the case, then I have succeeded. So each class is 2 hours long, and it includes an opening and a closing practice. So it's very important to me that the ideas presented are not purely intellectual. We can all read books and gain knowledge. That's great, but it's not the end of it. So yoga is experiential by its very nature. So it's super important that we have an opportunity through the practice to take the ideas we're talking about and really make them personal in our bodies, really have an experience and have an opportunity to explore that as well. So for almost everyone, there's an opening practice and then a short closing practice, which helps just settle, integrate, give you an opportunity again to just let all the information settle into your system. And the sessions were recorded with some of my students and colleagues. So there is discussion included. So if you're watching and starting to have questions, it's very likely that somebody will ask that question. So there is a kind of liveliness to the conversation. And of course, I'm always open to hearing from you with your questions that arise. If you are a yoga teacher trainer at the 200-hour level, putting it all in context fulfills the yoga philosophy component of that training. So you could purchase this at the teacher training level and then have access for your whole cohort. And included in that access is the opportunity to book with me an hour-long live appointment to meet with your group online, to answer questions or to just dig a little deeper in anywhere that feels like it works for your group. That's an option. I am offering that on the honor system, and I'm hoping and trusting that as a yoga teacher trainer, you are working from the yamas of ahimsa and satya. So yeah, I am thrilled, beyond thrilled. It really feels like this program, putting it all in context, is really, after in my own 2 decades plus of yoga practice and training and teaching, and they're working as a yoga therapist, that this really feels like a kind of culmination of all of that and offering it outward to you. So I hope you will enjoy and let me know how it goes.